Everybody, the Brooklyn Racing League. This is the GT3 Sprint Championships Season 15, Round 3 here at Brands Hatch. And it is been pretty spicy in practice, as well as right now we're seeing Mark Foley and Trey Mistack kind of battle it out here, their teammates. And they have a bit of fun. That team that you're looking at right there is Papaya Rules. Right now, Peter Flanner, who is sitting 9th in practice, is sitting first in the championship, followed by Eric Neville, who is in 2nd, and then Nick Mazza in 3rd. So still a good scrap, even further down the list with the drivers on board for each series. We're just going to go to its class in the top 3 right now. Christopher Chitterling leads in P1 in the Pro-Am class over Marshall Scari, who's in 2nd, and then Elliot Burton, who's in 3rd. Right now, Chris Chitterling is 8th in the overall. Max Poe, who's actually, I didn't even notice this, but in the Pro-Am class, there's 2 drivers that are tied in 3rd position. That's Max Poe and Elliot Burton. So, I mean, there's technically 4. So, and Max Poe's leading those drivers in the Pro-Am right now. And then going down further to he may not be. Alex Austin is actually leading. Alex Austin is 3rd. He's in the Pro-Am class as well. Brian Zaborowski Jr. is in 1st in the AM class. Forrest Holland is in 2nd, and Adam Tingle is in 3rd. Right now, Brian is not in this lobby. Forrest Holland, however, doesn't look like Forrest is here either. Am I skipping him? Yeah, Forrest Holland isn't here either. Is Adam Tingle at least here? I think we're getting a drop week from the top 3 drivers in the AM classes. I don't see either of those drivers. All 3 of those drivers are not here. Charles Whedon is also not here. Wow. The AM class is not showing up, that's for sure. Dave Palmer, also not here. What is happening? We got Michael Sharon. He's down in 11th. Jeff Lubitsch, is he here? Self-race ban from Jeff. You don't know if you have a ban, though? You can't just not show up because they haven't posted the penalty. Colin Luckhurst is here. He's in 9th. I mean, Eric Koonsman is here. He's in 6th at the moment, and I think that's it. I think Eric Koonsman is going to be the biggest winner here. He's in 18th. Tom Smith is also here, and he's in 8th. So, a couple of the back of the top 10 in AM class are here. So, I guess we'll see what happens out of those ones. Wesley Bryce is this driver here. I don't see him. He is sitting P1 in the rookie class with Zach Peterson in 2nd and Sean Dickinson in 3rd. Zach Peterson is not here. I think these people take the championship seriously. Sean Dickinson is here. He's in 4th right now in the overall. And, I mean, he was set to win his first race there at Motegi. And, you know, it all came undone with the fuel issue there. But that's how it goes sometimes. Moving over to our team standings, the Little Lugnuts are in 1st place. Trap Punk Gold is in 2nd. No Longer Radio Controlled is in 3rd. SimCity Racing in 4th. Pax Oceani Rambunctious Necromancers is in 5th. Pax Oceani Margarita Masters is in 6th. Ski Team in 7. SimCity Racing 2 and 8. Puck Yeah Racing in 9. Cars Racing in 10. Ganja Glizzy Racing in 11. Thunder Thighs Racing in 12. Caffeine Global Motorsports in 13. I think I should be able to say that when they use that every time. Living Legends in 14. Draft Punk Silver in 15. Asa Rays in 16. Papaya Rules is in 17. Narwhal Racing is in 18. And Pax Oceani Rubber Shuckers is in 19. John Javecki sitting second in that in practice right now. I don't know if JD Daniel is here, but that if this is anything like the race and that was the end result, it's going to be a good move for that team. Also, you have 0 practice. Oh, that makes sense. There's 42 drivers that are on the grid and racing tonight here at Brands Hatch with 5 minutes left to go. And just get right down in the thick of it. Right now, we have John Javecki, who's sitting second in practice. He's the only one out there, out of the top 4, I'll say. He trails behind Trey Mistack by 0.181. The significance being is that we're not going to probably see anybody get into the 120s. Trey Mistack's 121.153 is probably the fastest we'll see. John Javecki's did the 121.3. Anything kind of close in that range is going to be where we're going to see this stack up in the top 10. If you could get in the mid 121s, in the 10s there, then you're golden. We got 121 all the way from P1 to P12. Braden Daniels is in the 122s, low 122s, and the 122s persist from P13 onward to P27, and that is Roman Bykov, who joins us as a rookie. There's a lot of rookies in this one, by the way. Richard Sawirtsky is just behind. Tell that 531 to hurry up. He's too slow. 531. Marcelio De Leo. I assume. De Leo? I think that's it. Richard Sawirtsky is in the 123s, in almost a perfect 123. He did a 123.001. And then the 123s persist from P28 onward to P38, so that's 10 positions. And then after 38 is 39 and 40, and they're just outside the 123s. Slightly as I get it there. Let's go over to some drivers that are not actually racing at the moment. There's William Florence. I think this is his second race, maybe his third. Take a look. He's actually been to both races, and so has Richard Sawirtsky. And Sean Dickinson as well. There's a lot of these drivers from the rookie class that have been persistent. That said, we got Marcelio De Leo. That's a new driver. Welcome to the league. James Cox as well. Jackson Shalak returns. He's been here before. Matthias LePage, also pretty new. Darius Timms in P31 at the moment. He's also new. Roman Bykov, also, I think it's his first race with us. Raul Alvis in P26. He's in the pits, I believe, but he is also new. Welcome to the league. Got 1 minute, 51 seconds left to go. Seth Hansen, also pretty new, but he's been in every race so far this season. He's still a rookie, but no team, but he's got a great livery. And Alex Zier, sorry. He's back. He's sporting those those AM class things there, but are we gonna classify him. He's actually in Pro-Am, so this guy is not going to be able to bully the AM class this go-around. He is in P23 at the moment, but yeah, nothing there. He's just using the wrong accents. Brendan Burns rejoining. Rodrigo Theory also back at it. Ganja Glizzy team failure. I mean, if there wasn't a race ban, because if there's no sentence just yet, then I say you should just chuck it in. You know, if you register and you'll still get some points, help your team out some bit. Even if you register and don't compete, you still gain points. I learned that out. Oh, Zach Peterson is out with an injury? That's unfair. That sucks. Unfortunate. Unfair. Unfortunate is what I meant to say. Yeah. And look at that. Chris Chitterling has the right, he's a Pro-Am again. Welcome back. The Pro-Ams. I didn't know he got demoted. No one tells me anything. It's Joshua Jablonski in the pros. And Mark Foley getting a little racy right there. And that is practice. We're going to be switching into qualifying. And it's a quick one. So a brief word from our sponsor. Hopefully they're going to be our sponsor for a lot more time. But here we go. And we are back. Trey Misak is our first driver out as he drops into Pilgrim's drop. And we'll go on board with this driver shortly. As we'll get to his hot lap. Right now he's just trying to prep the tires. And hopefully there's no oddities in qualifying. That's the best way to describe it, because he's approaching the start of this lap and he's got no one in front of him at the moment. As he rounds Paddock Hill Bend down into Pilgrim's Rise. It's a slight one through Druids. I'm not going to be saying all these the entire time, just this one time. The bottom bend and the bottom straight. And South Bank. Through South Bank, I should say. It's getting a really nice exit there. Through the Pilgrim's drop, but you know when it's going to drop. Right about here. Through Hawthorne Bend into the Portobello Straight, then Westfield Bend. Hopefully he doesn't unsettle there, and someone already got off there. Through Dingledale, then Dingledale Corner. He is really on the edge. I'm not sure if that's ideal, but there's Sterling's. And into the clearways. Is that going to be his best result? Guess we'll see how that worked out for him. Is there any off tracks there? A lot of people did get off tracks. So I guess his next one will be probably a lot more tidy, as John Trevecki did take P1. And Trey Mistek did not set a time on the board with that one. I think that one on the... He might have had a pit issue. Working Peter Flanner line himself up in. Oh, he's got traffic. He is in the thick of it. He's got Craig Carroll ahead of him. Dylan Thomas. This is where I was talking about. This is where how do you maximize your shot here when you're just got 6/10 to a guy in front of you? You might actually be more more to do there. William Florence is about to cross the line. What can he do? Can we watch Hot Lap the whole from Alias tuning in? 143. Yeah, Marcelo De Leo. I hope I'm saying that right. He doesn't have too much traffic here. He's got 1.7 seconds to the guy ahead of him. That's Frederick Powell, and Frederick is P42 at the moment. You can see the times have shifted, though. Trey Misek did just get the fastest time on the board, which is at 122.6. And Sean Dickinson just behind in second, overtaking John Javecki. And Alex Authen just put himself in a good spot, as Jacob Simmons just took the fastest time with that 122.4. Still on bar with Marcelo here, who's got to get a better time out this time. He's at a 125, and everyone was in this range that was in this traffic. But he doesn't have too much traffic. He's got a guy just one ahead, and look at, there's a driver off to the side. You can't even see him. He pops back out there. That's Richard Sharitsky, and does he improve? He's at P27 for the moment. I don't believe that's an improvement. There's Matthias LePage off into the side there, and everything's just changing. Going over, Trey Mistek back into second. John Javecki just behind in fourth. Chris Chitterling in fifth. Alex Authen dropped down here into sixth. He was fourth. Cooper McCoy is parked on the side of the road for some reason. Mark Foley in P8. Chris Lambeth in 9. Miles Brown in 10. And the times we're seeing right now are 122s and 123s. But Trey Mistek just did a 121.9. It was possible in practice, but in qualifying, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. As Sean Dickinson just put it into second already. Mark Foley improving, but dropped back down into fifth. As Alex Authen got fourth, Jacob Simmons down into sixth. As Rodrigo Theory got back up into seventh. Miles Brown in 11th back here, and actually goes down to 12th as Dylan Thomas just takes 12, but goes back down. Colin Luckhurst takes 11. Peter Flander into 13. Miles Brown down into 15 as Tyler Anderson gets into 12th. Joshua Jablonski also going into 7th. Improvements out here. Marshall Scary is in 17. Craig Carroll in 18. Jake Daly in 19. Max Poe is in 20 as Seth Hansen puts in a 21. Brandon Burns, 22. Michael Sharon in 23. Alex Zier in 24. Richard Suritsky in 25. And he spun. And that is no bueno. He goes to 26. As Braden Daniel just improved on that time to put himself into 17th. Roman Bykov in 27th at the moment. Marcelio Del Leo is in 28 at the moment. Matthias LePage is in 29. He's just behind. Jackson Shalak is in 30. Trey Mistek sets the fastest time again. Tom Smith into 31. William Florence into 32. Steve McAllister's in 33. What is this? Oh, that is Braden Daniels, and those two collide. We knew there was going to be some level of stuff, and there it is. Braden Daniels collides with Steve McAllister. James Cox into 34. Craig Reed. Whoa. What was that? Okay, he lost it there on the end of Westfield Bend, and that other driver also just lost it on their own as well. So nothing too weird there. 35 for Craig Reese. Frederick Proud to 36. Marcelio De Leo just improved to 26. Darius Timms improves to 30. Eric Koonsman into 38 at the moment. He was pretty quick, and he goes into... Whoa! That was Sean Dickinson. You know, a chopper cam. Look at these drivers are trying to go out again, and cold tires, and he just spun it right there. All right. Oh, Frederick Powell did get into 38. Brian Austin into 39. Raul Raul. Raul Alves, I think that's how you say it. Sorry. Welcome to Broke Wing Racing League, and he doesn't have a time on the board, but can he put a time on the board? He's got Tyler Anderson behind him flashing his lights, and they are separated by 2/10. And that time on the board isn't an actual a set of time, so he's got to go again. Brad Jorgensen also doesn't have a time set on the board, and there is somebody off, and I don't even think we're going to see it. They went straight into that barrier, I believe. Darius Timms improves to 30. He was, I guess he dropped down. Arcelio De Leos is still in 28 at the moment, goes to 29 as Jackson Shalak just overtakes him across the line there. Jake Daly in 26 at the moment. Now going back over to our top 10, Chris Chitterling in second. Alex Othen holding third pretty well in standard. That's a car off. Max Poe in fourth. Rodrigo Theory in fifth. He's in the pits though. Sean Dickinson back out again. Alex Othen overtakes Chris Chitterling for second. Now that is impressive. This is the Pro-Am class, by the way. They are second and third. Sorry. Second, third, and fourth. And maybe even fifth. I think Rodrigo is also in the Pro-Am class. Which really goes to show you. The pros are being just shown where the... Rodrigo Theory is a Pro-Am. Where it can be done here. That's kind of crazy. Matthias LePage improves on his time. He goes to P21. And Brian Austin did get a time on the board this go around. He's P41 at the moment. What kind of livery? Marchelio. Okay, I got it. I think I got that one. Thank you. Marchelio. He's dropped down by the... I think this is the... There's two red Ferraris, and one of them spun in that first sector. I don't think it was this one. I don't even think we have that many Ferraris out there. Yeah, it was this one. James Cox. Two distinctly similar. There's a black... I mean, that's the official Ferrari livery versus this one is just a red. But, there we go. TJ Hansen and Noah Hoskinson have not set times on the board. Jacob Simmons is done, I believe. And he overtakes. Where he was at in the lineup, he's now down back up into the top 10. He goes into P10 with that time. But no further improvement after that last lap that he just did. That was his final improvement. I don't know if he can go again. Or if he's choosing to. Actually, he is. He's choosing to go again. Alright, I guess we'll see one more shot from him. It looks like we have a few different things happening. Got a kind of 4 cars, all kind of really close. This is an ideal scenario if you're qualifying because you could be slowed up by a driver in front of you, and this isn't going to be a great improvement as there's Darius Timms flashing Steve McAllister there, and they're going to go off the way to the line as Roman Bykov goes into P17 with his time on the board. Just here to heckle. Alright. And you can see that they are separated by almost nothing here. Trey Mistak is still out there trying to retain that top spot. Alex Otham is 0.060 difference to him. Not a lot of drivers got into the 121s. There's only 6. John Javecki is one of them. He just went down into P3 with that time on the board. Whatever happened to the Gucci Gare Bears? I think both of them retired. I think that's what it came down to. Brandon Burns improves to P17 as he's across the line. Michael Sharon improved. He went to P20 with that time on the board. Let's see if Marcello DeLeo can improve. That was a 123.2. That is a personal best, and he goes into P28 with that time on the board, and he is done. And James Cox across the line, what can he do? Is that a time done? He's going again, but I don't think he has... I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that was going to be anything, but... Marshall Scari across the line, goes into P8, improves it on his time. Same with Sean Dickinson. He also improves. And Marshall Scari's in. Peter Flanner is in P9 at the moment. He was down in like P17, I believe, but he improved on that last lap. And can he improve on this one? He's got Roman Bykov just behind him. He lets Roman by, so that is not going to be anything there. Roman to the line. He's got a minute left. Tyler's cap needs to be much bigger. Yeah. Roman Bykov in P18, and that's about said and done. Raul Alves, nothing there. Darius Timms and Mark Foley, both not on personal bests, so no improvements out of those two. And that is it. That's qualifying. And here's the grid. P1 through 15, you can see on the letterboard there. So I'm just going to skip these drivers and head right to our drivers that didn't make that list. Dylan Thomas, P16. Brandon Bird, 17. Roman Bykov, P18. Cooper McCoy, 19. Michael Sharon, 20. Jake Daly, 21. Greg Reese, 22. Craig Carroll, 23. Colin Luckers, 24. Matthias Page, 25. Alex Zier in P26, Braden Daniels 27, Marcello DeLeo in 28, Seth Hansen in 29, Eric Koonsman 30, Tom Smith 31, Raul Alves in 32, having a trouble. Jackson Shalak in 33, Darius Timms in 34, Richard Sawitsky in 35, William Florence 36, Steve McAllister 37, James Cox 38, Brad Jorgensen 39, Frederick Powell 40. And we'll see if they join us. Well, Brian Austin is here. He's in 41. Noah Hoskinson 42 and TJ Henson 43. We'll see if those two last ones join. They did not partake in qualifying, but they could be out there. I'm just here for the safety car. It's probably going to be the case. Yeah. We've got a whole interesting group of cars. Now, if we take a closer look here, you can see that there's a lot of AM class drivers out in the midfield. Some of the Pro-Ams are mixed in with them. And then you have Pro-Ams all the way up to the top. Even to the first row. You got Pro-Ams side by side with pros. And yeah, I guess the purple Pams, that purple accents, those are the Pro-Ams. They are the middle class. Pros are the orange accents in the AM class. division is right behind, and the light blue. The red, however, the red markings is our rookie class. It's not to say they're not the rookies, true rookies, but they are there for a reason. It's because it's designed to get as much information about them as possible, and within 5 races, we can determine where they should be in the order, what classification they should have. But for now, they sit in that one, as we are about to go. Now, it will be noted just right away is that when this race goes live, we'll try to get to anything that does occur on track when it's available. As we look through this laundry list of drivers, there's 41 on the grid. 43 enter the race, but 41 on the grid. So if there's a massive chaotic event and the safety car is deployed, I'll be able to look at it even sooner. But if there's not, and it's just straight pure racing, after a couple laps, I will try to find whatever it is that any driver who's no longer with us because of an incident. I mean, this is a great example. This is the Pilgrim's Drop. I can't tell you how many cars I've seen in a massive wreck that took out half the field right there at Pilgrim's Drop. So it's going to be, if anyone has seen some of our races, going bowling at the Glen might not be even slightly that big of a deal when you compare it to Brands Hatch. Every race I've ever commentated on Brands Hatch has inevitably had some of the most stark reminders to give some space and not race each other too hard on the first lap, maybe. But you can only tell so many people that, and will they do it? Who knows? Alex Austin is on the outside line here, and we're about to go racing. And that green flag is a go, and we are already treated to Trey Missak taking the lead fairly easily. Max Poe just behind. And all of those Pax Oceanis holding off and setting off Tron Dickinson and Joshua Jablonski. And then further back, you have Chris Chitterling holding back, and they are still going too wide over here. And no one's off just yet, but who's the movers and shakers here? Chris Lambeth is down one, and they are still side by side. Some of them are further back, and there is an incident. Further back, you can see it, but that's just one driver off as Marcello De Leo is up 3, Darius Timms is up 8, and these drivers did get on by. But looking at Darius Timms and Braden Daniels going side by side here, and we're going to take it away and hopefully keep it pretty safe here, as they're still too wide. And I think it's going to go to Braden Daniels, and these are going to go. We've got two groups battling right here, and Jackson Shalak is trying to make a move here on Darius Timms, and Darius Timms goes wide, and that is him off. Going further up the grid, it's Jacob Simmons, who's got 2 positions gained. Marshall Scari is down 3 now. Rodrigo Theory had to tow, so he was one of the drivers in the incident. Oh, and there goes Tyler Anderson, and he's trying to get that under control. There's a Bucky's. Cooper McCoy, he's up 1, And that was a little bit of a wiggle there. As Jackson Chillock is already making up another position, possibly. Raul Alves just ahead of him, and he pushes through. That's P6. Sorry, 6 positions gain. He's P27. And that puts him in a really good spot. Colin Luckhurst is up 3. Michael Sharon is just right there. Whoa! And I think they collided because Cars Racing and Colin Luckhurst there. That was something else. I'm not even sure what to say. Are they going to make this 3 wide? Alex Zier trying his best to make it that way. And then Colin Luckhurst goes through. Alex Zier goes through. So does Marcello De Leo goes through. Braden Daniels is right there, back hot on the heels there. And this group is really close together. And there's a move down the inside line. Raul Alves takes Braden Daniels. What a spot. Back over to our leaders. Sean Dickinson did set the fastest time on the board, but Alex Authen is still 2/10 away from Craig Mistack. Max Poe still holding in there. Sean Dickinson is in this as well. Something happened there for John Javecki because he's down 3 positions. Chris Chittling is up 2. And Mark Foley in 7th. He's got John Javecki just ahead of him. Joshua Jablonski is down 3 as well. So 2 drivers that lost 3 in the top 10. That's unfortunate. Peter Flanner holding out strong there in P9. And this group is still very much together. I would say the split there is Miles Brown to Marshall Scari and Chris Lambeth, who's just behind him, who's got a bit of a train of cars following him. The Concha Glizzy Racers are racing, holding out strong there. I guess our biggest ones right here are further back. Yeah, Steve McAllister, who's just dropped and I think spun it. And Matthias LePage gets a spot off of Jake Daly. Gets actually 2. Darius Timms goes on by. And Brandon Burns has spun it. I don't know if he spun it because that was him and a rookie that came together there. And he's gone down tumbling into 26th position. People that won off on that. And we have a battle here with Braden Daniels and Marcello De Leo. And Braden Daniels moves through and takes the position. That's battle for P23. And now Marcello is in P24. Still up 4 positions. Braden Daniels up 4 as well. Raul Alves is the one that's ahead of them both. And he's gained 10 positions. Alex Zier is up. All these drivers right now in the teens and the 20s are doing fairly well, gaining a lot of spots. It's fairly good news as we'll go on board with Tyler Anderson, who's got 1 position lost here. He's got Dylan Thomas just ahead of him. And he just set his personal best. He was a full second faster and some change there. And this group is, it's missing some downforce right there. This is where it gets really sweaty. You have Alex Zier trying to make a move here on Raul Alves. That's the move, and has it down. But this group in the 19s and the 20s here is really battling it out here. And that is Alex Zier trying to keep the position, holding it inside line into turn 1. And still they go side by side. And can he hold on through it? Through Druids. And he's not going to have the inside line for the next quarter. And there goes Raul Alves, who's sticking his nose straight ahead and has the position and retakes it. What a battle there. Cooper McCoy also on a battle as well. Overtakes Tyler Anderson just behind Roman Bykoff, and Colin Luckhurst go side by side, and they're going to take this 2 wide as well. And the move isn't done for Cooper McCoy as Tyler Anderson has gotten down in front of him again. That is quite something. Tyler Anderson is holding this broken front end well in hand against cars that are still stacked up. Marcello De Leo and Braden Daniels are battling it out here. Oof. This has a tight corner as well, and he's going to lose a position there to Brandon Burns. Still up 3 positions where he started this race. No, sorry, that was Jackson Chillock that passed him, not Brandon Burns. And he went for a move, and didn't quite stick, and that's what opened the door for Jackson Chillock here to make that pass. But is he going to try the outside line here? Definitely went for the outside. Doesn't quite have it. Cooper McCoy in front of... Oh, as we have just a couple battles. Oh! That's Tyler Anderson. Oh, and he toes immediately. This is Cooper McCoy here. And a chopper cam. Oh, he just lost it on his own. Colin Luckhurst gets overtaken by Roel Alves there through Pilgrim's Drop. RIP to Tyler, indeed. This pack has been ferocious. They're all holding strong. Colin Luckhurst is getting a little bit of a gap here. Craig Reese trying to make a move here on Alex Zier. You got Braden Daniels, Jackson Chillock, Marcello De Leo behind, and they're close in this battle. There goes Alex Zier on Craig Reese. And look at Braden Daniels trying to slot in and try to make a move too. Is this how it goes for these drivers? He's got Craig Reese there. But does Jackson Chillock also have Craig Reese? I mean, when it rains, it pours. Alex Zier just went wide, and he lost out all those positions. As through goes Jackson Chillock, Craig Reese, and Marcello De Leo. I think even more people than that. Yeah, Brandon Burns, Matthias LePage, Darius Timms also got on through. And it was a big drop for Alex Zier, though. Back over to our race leaders, P1, 2, and 3. There's no separation right now. Beyond that, there's got a 1 second gap to P4 and P3 here. But these 3 are separated by nothing. 2 tenths. And Sean Dickinson had the fastest lap of the session. But what can he do at the moment? We're not seeing the moves these drivers make at the I mean, Sean might have made the moves early on when he got those 3 gained positions, but at the moment it looks like he's just following in suit and not trying to go for a strict move per se. He's still got that 1 second, 0.9, 0.8 now difference. But I don't think it's enough. Not at the moment. Our biggest movers and shakers here. Oof. Take a look here as Dylan Thomas. Oh. I don't even know what happened there. What's Chris Lambert doing? It's a good question. Chris Lambeth is in P14, and he's out for a British stroll on this fine weathered day. He's got a 1.3 second gap to Rodrigo Theory in a 4.6. So there's that. Chris Chitterling lost a position there to Max Poe, who went up to P4. Chris Chitterling not going to let it go. He is fighting back on Max Poe, and they're going to possibly take this into Druids, and they are. And for the moment, he has it, but we know this left-hander is coming up next, and that's bottom bend, and yep, he's going to get on by. There's Mark Foley also getting involved in this, as he's going to overtake John Javecki, and maybe make a spot before the straight, but nope. Oh, he does, and he's gonna take that right-hander, and then we're gonna have two class of drivers trying to hold on to positions, and they do for the moment. Mark Foley has it on John Javecki. And it looks kind of well in hand for him. We got other movers and shakers. Craig Reese is battling out here with Braden Daniels, and this group has been fantastic all race. They've been super clean for the most part, I would say. I think that Castrol guy might have tapped a driver. Maybe. I didn't take a... We took a brief look at it, and it looked like they didn't have enough space for both drivers to make this corner. It was actually at this corner right here when they made contact with that other driver. But beyond that, I would say everything else is clean, and they've been slotted in here. You have all of these drivers just holding the same pace, 123s, low 123s, and they're all there. Brandon Burns is catching the end of this as well. It's Matthias LePage actually is the furthest one back, but is still like right on the edge. You can see him in that Lamborghini Huracan who's joining this fight. Marcello De Leo here, who's got quite the battle. He's got a lot of guys in front of him, but there's only so much you could do here in this position when everyone is trying to make up spots. And there's on the inside Braden Daniels making up a spot, and he actually has it on the exit, so a good move from him. But just back further, we have Brandon Burns trying to hold off Matthias LePage, but it doesn't happen. Sorry, it does happen. My bad. Just looking at the timing screen. And Craig Reese goes off, and through goes Braden Daniels and Marcello De Leo, and they both made spots up. And who was the worst on this? Roman Bykov and Alex. Oh, Matthias LePage just spun. Whoa! And that's Darius Timms who popped out of nowhere. But yeah, I mean that was the main thing there. When that driver went off, he kind of followed him in suit. Darius Timms on the inside. I guess he's Canadian. He's got Eric Koonsman just behind him, and they're gonna battle. And they, I think, possibly bumped there for slightly, but Eric Koonsman doesn't have the move fully done just yet, and it's not done. And further up, we got Miles Brown. It's holding pretty steady. Jacob Simmons has Joshua Jablonski in his sights. One of the only drivers here that has been making up spots, not losing them. Joshua Jablonski's down 3. John Javecki's down 4 now. Peter Flanders down 1. Marshall Scari down 3. Miles Brown up 1. I mean, it's unfortunate to be losing these positions this high up in the order. And it does happen, though. Darius Timms is trying to make a move here on Jake Daly. It doesn't go to him. Hop over to Marshall Scari. He's got Miles Brown. They're going side by side here. And this could be the one spot that Miles Brown loses. Oh no, gains. He had one spot and now he has 2. He goes to P11. Jacob Simmons possibly trying to make the move here now through the final corner onto the straight. Does he have Joshua Jablonski here into turn 1? And they could take this 2 wide. No, he doesn't. Greg Reese, not everything's all lost here. He did have that moment, but he's back in P22 where he qualified, so just ahead of him, or just behind Craig Reese, is Alex Zier, who is pretty quick. Let's see if he's quicker than Craig Reese. Take a look at this. Oh. Further when he goes for the inside line move here. He lost it on his own. Unfortunate. He is back out there, but he's down into P16. There's action at the front. Not as much. It's still happening. Sean Dickinson is into second over Alex Othman, so he did make up a spot, overtaking one of the Pax Oceani drivers. But Max Poe has stayed ahead of Chris Chitterling this entire race after he made that move. I think that was into turn 1 as well. Mark Foley up 5 positions into P6, and John Chavecki is the last driver in this little group here. But Max Poe just keeping his car centered in a perfect spot, using that defensive line there. And it's working. Where's Dan? I mean, it was working for a second, but there goes Chris Chitterling. And, you know, you talk nice about the driver, and things start to tumble for him. Unfortunately, Max Poe now dropped down into 5. Could be 6 in a second here as Mark Foley is battling it out here and was trying to take that too wide. And John Chavecki right behind. He's in a Pax Oceani sandwich. And it's just unfortunate. But no move just yet. Jackson Sherlock in the middle here. He's got 14 positions gained. Not the biggest mover and shaker, though. We have Raul Alves there, 17 positions gained. Marcello De Leo is just behind Jackson Sherlock here. And Braden Daniels is the one leading these 3. And it looks close, though. Jackson Sherlock had gotten Braden Daniels before. Can he do it again? Hey, Jeff. I don't know. Where is it? It's got to be somewhere. It's not here. Unfortunately, I think these drivers just split a little bit. Matthias LePage here and Tom Smith battling it out here. And Matthias down that inside line. And takes the spot. You guys keep talking to me, and I'm gonna be losing stuff. Richard Swirsky and Brad Jorgensen battling out here, and that goes P29 and 30. And I don't know if Richard was ahead or behind, but they're both gained 6 and 9 positions, which is it's quite simple. On board with Alex Zier, who is making this thing look scary. And we have drivers going into the pits now. And here's the battle that I was hoping was going to happen sooner. Mark Foley now side by side with Max Poe. And they're keeping it side by side. And now John Chavecki trying to get in the mix here. I think that was one of Mark's attempts there. If he just nails this final sector, he could try into turn 1. He's a little bit further back than he was on the previous lap, though. Going over to Alex Zier, who's got Brandon Burns in his sights. Craig Reese, I guess, just passed him on that last lap. And it looks like Alex Zier is going to take the spot from Brandon Burns, and he goes on by. Not going to say it was inevitable, but Pro-Am driver versus the AM class driver. He's got maybe a little bit more speed in his tool belt there, and Darius Timms battling out with Eric Koonsman. I'm going to click on this one real quick. Oh, Dylan just lost that time. And then trying to see what happened here. We had an incident earlier on in the race, and this is Raul Alves and Dylan Thomas. I'm not sure what that one was about. Brian Austin here. Just think spun it on his own. Craig Carroll. He just spun it on his own. Brandon Burns on lap 3. This was that incident. I think he might have been some contact there. William Florence. Whoa. Take a look at this. Oh, that drops one driver in. I think that was Steve and William Florence that came together. And, yeah, it's unfortunate. That was Richard Swertsky, who also spins on his own there. But before that, I think it was all pretty clean. Seth Hansen has massive damage. Oh, it wasn't clean. This was right at the race start. We had a Caffeine Global Motorsports that went sideways, and then you had Eric Koonsman. People spun, and then kind of a gaggle that kind of erupted there. That's unfortunate. It is a gaggle. I mean, I don't know what you call it. I don't know another word. Give me a synonym, and I'll use it. That's Alex Othen, who just went off slightly. John Dickinson is leading this race from Trey Mistak, who's in P13. People have already went for the pit cycle, folks. Trey Mistak pit, and he went down 12. He is 26 seconds back. This is where it counts. He did a 29.8 second stop, so he's well within that margin to regain some spots. Sean Dickinson and Chris Chitterling are going to stay out. Yeah, I mean, I used that one too, but, you know, that one's borderline what it is. Joshua Jablonski and Peter Flanner are, yeah, not coming together. They're in separate cars and everything. Chris Lambeth in P21. He pit on lap 16. He's down 7. He'll gain some of these back. But he's got Matthias LePage up in front of him. And, whoa, there's Brian Austin, I believe, who's letting them by. And Cooper McCoy also pit, or on that last lap, lap 18. So we're seeing some changes here. Jacob Simmons did stay ahead of Chris Lambeth. That might have been crucial for him, because before the pit cycle, I think Chris was ahead of Jacob Simmons. So I think that worked out in Jacob Simmons' favor. Did Marcello pit? Marcello is out. He pit on lap 17. He did a 29.2 in the box. He's got Craig Reese 1.2 ahead. Roman Bykov is 6 seconds behind him. At the moment, it's just going to be a nice British stroll for Marcello here, unless he can catch up to Craig Reese. Last lap was faster than Craig, but we also know Craig, I don't know, 127, but he pit a lap later. He might gain some ground here. We'll see. Where's Trey Missack already? And he is P6. Every driver ahead of him has not pit yet. We'll see how that plays out. Rodrigo Theory has Brandon Burns in his sights. Brandon Burns has not pit. Braden Daniels has not pit. Rodrigo Theory makes the move into and the exit of Druids, so he's gone on by, and that's a pass for position. But for Brandon Burns, he's got to get in the pits on lap 21 of 33. The battles that might get close again, they might get there. Eric Koonsman and Roman Bykov, they are still battling out. Craig Carroll is just behind. So we got some drivers that are close together in this race, but that good action of a bunch of different cars, all biting in synchronicity there, not so much. Now we're going to get just little packs like these, and be curious to see how that all unfolds. Max Poe and John Javecki are out, and it's 6 and 7 for them. Ooh, that is, I don't think that's good. Mark Foley, yeah, John Javecki lost position. John Javecki's actually right where he was. Max Poe dropped a position. Mark Foley gained positions through the pit cycle. He's in 5th. That's 6 positions gained now for Mark Foley. Sean Dickinson did pit, and he went down to 4th. He lost out to Chris Chitterling and Alex Othen. And now Alex Othen is right back into P2. Chris Chitterling is into 3rd, but is up 4. He did get passed by Sean. So now Sean Dickinson is going to have to do that move again, and there is a car off, and that is Brad Jorgensen in 32, and he's going to just supply the track with some debris. And as far as pit cycles go, it worked out for some and definitely not others. But was the overcut worth it? It doesn't seem like it for some. But again, it did work out for others. I mean, Jacob Simmons is going to retake a spot there. So will a bunch of others. Is Brandon Burns finally pits. He's the last driver on the grid to pit, minus William Florence and Steve McAllister, who pit very early because of their incident that happened on lap 1. Richard Swirsky has Tom Smith in his sights. We've had 5 retirees of this, by the way, of this race. 5 retired drivers. Brad Jorgensen has a black flag, so this is going to hold him up a little bit. Alexier gets some spots retaken here. Craig Reese and Jackson Chillock find themselves near each other once more. That's 15 positions gained for him. For Jackson, he was actually our biggest mover on the last race as well, but he isn't our biggest mover on this occasion. Just going to play this back slightly as Matthias LePage makes a move on the outside and or down the straight. It's going to be the optimal line into this corner, and Darius Timms follows him in suit, and he's holding on for the moment, but that's 2/10 separation from these two drivers. And is he going to be able to reel him into turn one? I don't think so. We're about to approach the braking zone. Yeah. What we have is what we have. If there's anyone who wants to know where your driver is, who you're supporting, I could take a quick look at them. There are some battles happening here. Debris. I say a lot of words weird. I grew up in a small town. Where's Tyler Anderson? He's retired. Where's Dylan Thomas? All right, our retirees are Frederick Powell, Brian Austin, Dylan Thomas, Tyler Anderson, and Seth Hansen. They have retired from this race. If that's what you're wondering, they are at the bottom. That's P37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Where's Elliot Burton? Elliot Burton? Where is Elliot? What? Am I mistaken? Where is Elliot Burton? He's not even on the... He wasn't in this race, was he? No, he wasn't here. Peter Flanders here. I think you guys are trying to confuse me. Where is Peter Flanner, though? Wasn't he having a good race? How's the Glizzy Gobbler doing? Let's take a look. Chris Lambeth. Like I said, Sunday stroll for old Ganja Glizzy. There's a driver off, and that is... Oh, that's Jacob Simmons. Oh, he just gained a position. That's where he is. And it's a little too much. And that was almost live. It was live. And we're back live. Jacob Simmons lost it there. And Cooper McCoy here is sitting in P12. But he's also kind of on a Sunday stroll. He's got to keep his momentum going. He is faster than Chris Lambeth on that last lap. But Cooper's holding out strong at 12. But he's got an 8-second gap to the driver ahead of him. Eric Koonsman's still trying to battle out here with Roman Bykov. And just actually further ahead, I'll take another look here. Craig Reese lost out some time to Jackson Chillock. That puts Marcello De Leo in a better spot. He's got a 1.3 second gap to this driver ahead of him. There's Monday, not so much of the Sunday stroll for him anymore. He can get back in this fight. Roman Bykov behind him is 5.7 seconds back. I don't think he's making that up. I think right now Marcello is at 8 positions from where he started this race. He's P20 at the moment, and he could possibly get into the teens here. 19 is right in front of him. He's holding a consistent pace, though. He was faster on that last lap by 0.6, roughly. So, that can happen. AM class leader. God, I hate this one. Who's in the AM class? Not Rodrigo. Not Cooper. I will look in a second. There is a battle happening here with Joshua Jablonski and Max Poe. Colin Luckhurst is an AM class driver. Oh, John Javecki just spun, I think. Yep, he did. And so, positions inherited for those drivers. Yeah. Gets it back on track, though. He's in P8, Max Poe in 7. We got a car off Caffeine Global Motorsports. But Max Poe still bowing it out. Right now, we know for sure Mark is in 4th. And well, Sean Dickinson is leading the rookie class. So we have our AM class leader, which is Colin Luckhurst. Sean Dickinson in 5th right now. He is the rookie class. Trey Misek is that pro, and Alex Authen is the pro-am, who's sitting in 2nd place. Mark Foley did make a move here, and I might be able to see it at some point. John Javecki. Mark Foley did pass a bunch of people, but it... This might be it. Oh! That is a Caffeine Global Motorsports driver, and Steve McAllister, and that's how Mark Foley got on by through Druids. That was Steve McAllister there. Yeah, it was Steve McAllister. Matthias LePage also had a bit of a thing. Where's Jax Schlock? He's doing fairly well. Let me go over to his onboard here. He's kind of in no man's land for the moment. He's got Craig Reese 1.2 seconds back on him. He's in P18 at the moment. He's got 4 laps to go. He's got an 8.4 second gap behind in front of him. Craig Reese is in the middle of those two. He's got a 1 second gap to the driver in front, and behind him, Marcello De Leo has cut at least a 10th or 2. It looks like 2 into Craig Reese's time. And so we might see causing issues. Colin Luckhurst, who's sitting in P16, is our driver, the AM class driver. I think Miles Brown is Miles Brown he's a pro-am. So as it stands, as it stands, the Pro-Am is kind of, I want to say it's not fully done just yet, but Alex Authen has a 1.4 second gap to Chris Chitterling, and that's the 2 Pro-Ams battling for the championship there. Mark Foley is that pro driver who Alex Zier is letting on by. going awfully wide there, but so Mark's going to inherit. He's going to get P2 out of this one. Max Poe. Actually, Joshua Blonsky's going to be in third there. Max Poe in third for the Pro-Ams. But who's the guy in second here for the Colin Luckhurst? Braden Daniels, I believe, is a Pro-Am. Look at me not get that right. Craig Reese will be second. He's P19. Colin Luckhurst is P15. That said, these three drivers are actually really close together at the moment. Jacob Simmons, Chris Lambeth, and Cooper McCoy all battling out here for 12, 13, and whoa! And that is a Peter Flanner. At least he made it look cool. And Jacob Simmons has received a black flag. So while he's battling these two drivers, he's actually got to go through the pit lane. A little bit of action. These three drivers are almost on par. We have Jackson Sherlock and Craig Reese battling. Michael Sharon is in the mix, but he's in 33rd. But it's a crucial thing here, is these two have now Craig's got the back of he's got a toe. Michael Sharon at the moment is giving Marcello a toe, helping him push on by, but he's got a 1.6 second gap here. So he's lost out a little bit of time. And it's now kind of down to these two. With 2 laps to go. Take a look back at our race leader, and this is the white flag. So, pretty standard, I would say. I'm not sure if calling Trey Misak washed in our Arco Oval League put a fire under him to take it to P1 again in a different series, but I mean, he has done it. The alien has regained his speed and showing some pure dominance at this track right now, and he's got just a full sector and a half to go. He might be. And Chris Lambeth and Cooper McCoy are still battling out here. Now Marcello, it's hammer time. Marcello actually did get caught up right back there onto the back. This is the last lap for them, and we'll get back to this fight indeed in just a little bit, but he is now 3/10 back and separated from Craig Reese here. So still the battle is on for these two as well. Trey Misak has just a little bit left to go. No other driver, I think, is going to be able to make something happen at the moment. We will see. Mark Foley now is held at 4th position. So Trey Misak wins here at Branch Hats for round 3. Alex Authen into 2nd, Chris Schierling into 3rd, Mark Foley into 4th, Joshua Jablonski into 5th, Max Poe into 6th, John Javecki in 7th, Miles Brown is going to finish in 8th, Marshall Scari in 9, Rodrigo Theory in 10, Sean Dickinson is going to be in 11, but Cooper McCoy is the one we're looking at. Chris Lambeth and Cooper McCoy. Sean Dickinson rounding that out is going to finish in 11th. Across the line, Chris Lambeth is not going to be able to take it. And there goes Cooper McCoy, 12, Lambeth 13, Colin Luckhurst 14, Raul Davis Alvis in 15, Braden Daniels 16, Jacob Simmons is going to finish in 17, Craig Reese and Marcello De Leo got past Jackson Sherlock at some point in that battle, and now Marcello just has to hold on, but he gained another spot. He goes into P19. Craig Reese takes P18, and across the line, who is Who was that? Jackson Chillock gets on by. He stays P20. Eric Koonsman 21. Brandon Burns in 22. Darius Timms in 23. Matthias LePage in 24. Tom Smith in 25. He's got no one really to battle here. And Roman Bykov in 26. So that was a lapped car that was going across the line with him. I thought that was real traffic there. Jake Daly finishes in P27. Alex Zier in 28. Craig Carroll 29. Peter Flanner, 30. Richard Swirsky, 31. Michael Sharon, 32. Steve McAllister, 33. James Cox, 34. William Florence, 35. Brad Jorgensen, 36. And then, as you know, Frederick Powell finished in 37th, retired. Brian Austin, 38, retired. Dylan Thomas, 39, retired. Tyler Anderson, 40, retired. Seth Hansen, 41, retired. And that is it. We'll start first with Trey Mistak. Congratulations on that win. What a dominant performance through and through. You picked kind of early, but you didn't seem like it worried you all that much because, you're able to get back out ahead. You had Alex Othen giving you sweat throughout that first stint. How did that feel, honestly? Like, it must have been quite something.
Yeah, it was very, very sweaty. Kept me on my toes the whole time. I tried to save tires, save fuel, but every time I tried to, he would just catch right up back to me. So it was tough.
Yeah, what a fantastic result as well. I mean, you finished, I think, a couple, maybe 1 point something ahead, but I mean, still a fantastic result. I mean, you led strong. Did you have any issues with lap traffic throughout that race?
I did have a small issue with the blue flags. He slowed a bit on exit, and I made some contact, but luckily no damage.
Well, I mean, fantastic. Clinical, I would say. Clinical. I was saying that, we made fun of you for being washed in the Oval League, and you just had to show up to this race and to show that you're not. So, congratulations on really showing us that we shouldn't make fun of you because this is what's going to happen. You'll finish on the top step. How does it
I
feel?
am still washed at Oval though.
All right, well, congratulations again, and I mean, thank you for joining me. And I mean, that was a fantastic result. It was really great to see everyone putting the stress on you. You got a good, clean exit on at the start. So, thanks again for joining me, Trey.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for the stream.
Yep. Alex Othen, Pro Am. Congratulations, man. How's that feel for you and the Pax Oceani team? You guys still finished pretty strong. Max Poe in 6, Sean Javecki in 7. I mean, there was a lot of purple right there at the start, and I mean, it looked like you guys had that kind of nailed down. Um, so congratulations on your win, and also P2 in the overall. Chris Schierling was kind of chasing it down towards the end, but I mean, I think you had it in hand. Were you even slightly sweating that?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for the congratulations. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty. I was sweating it with Chris behind me. I knew he had a little bit more pace on me, definitely through the first stint, and then luckily I got a gap after the pit stop, and I think that was just enough to hold him behind me. I was watching the lap times every lap, but yeah, I was hoping all the purple behind Trey would mess him up, but no luck.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like at one point there's three of you. I'd be hard pressed. Who was the third driver that was behind, or the guy that was right behind you? Um, I I don't even think it was Chris Schitterling. It was the first stint.
It was Sean Dickinson, I
Yeah,
think.
Sean Dickinson. Yeah, and so the three of you were really just. I think you were separated by 2 tenths. I mean, you almost bumper to bumper, and you three just kept steaming away. I mean, that's got to feel a little bit of pressure there. Sean ended up finishing in P11. I'm not sure what ended up happening to his overall race there, but I mean, what a scenario for you guys to go into. Were you worried at all that Sean was trying to make moves? But it kind of looked like he was just following suit. But did he ever peak when were you taking a look?
I think he was just following for the most part. He had a couple little peaks, but I don't think he was doing anything more than moving in my mirror to try and mess me up. It was close there for a while. I lit up the rears exiting turn two, and then went wide a couple turns later, and he got by me. But we were pretty even on pace, I think, the through the whole race.
Awesome. That was a fantastic result. I mean, it is kind of scary to see that the pro-ams are just shoved right into that top 10, and you guys kind of showing that you are pros too. I mean, you guys said we're consistently fast. I mean, some of the pros, like the way it looked like on the starting grid, it was the pro-ams were on the right hand or the left. To you, it'd be the left side of the track, the outside line, and then the inside was all pros. It was very interesting to see that at the gate. So I can't wait to see you continue doing that. I mean, shake up the order and eventually get promoted. That's the idea, right? Uh,
Yeah, that's the goal. I would say this is one of my better tracks, so I don't expect to be up there too too often.
Gotcha. I mean, it's a fantastic track. I love this track. I love the style of racing it got. Last question to you. With how that traffic was going, how did you manage it? Was it fine? Did you have any issues, or was it pretty manageable?
It was pretty manageable. I had two pretty close calls with blue flag cars, just maybe catching them at the wrong time right before a turn, but nothing major.
Nice. Did you see any carnage on the track, or were you kind of free of it?
I didn't see any. Honestly, I was so zoned in on Trace bumper the whole time. I wasn't really looking too much in the rear view.
Yeah. Wow.
I did
That's
see there was a lot of gravel on the track, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of a lot of debris, as they say. Thanks for joining me, Alex. Again, congratulations. I've got to feel fantastic after that result. I mean, uh, based on your previous results in the last couple of races, I mean, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. And just want to give you a shout out. Thanks for all you do here broadcasting. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks, and I'll let you go.
All right, have a good night.
You too. And that's it. The pro am leader. We had the pro and the pro am. They were P1 and 2 in the overall, which is fantastic to see. Colin Luckhurst finished 14th, and he was the AM class winner. Sean Dickinson is our rookie winner. He finished in P11, so congratulations to him as well. Thank you, everybody that joined me in the chat. And also a reminder, I think this Tuesday is going to be the Broken Wing Le Mans series. That's three classes: the GTP, the LMP2, and the GT3 class. That's going to be an endurance race, 2 hours 40 minutes, I believe, and that's this Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, same time. Don't forget to follow us for that, as well as the ARCA series is on Wednesdays. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a beginner-friendly oval league. Most of the tracks are pretty standard that everyone has. And we're going to, I think we're going to Watkins Glen this round for an actual road course. And then the V's Rays are on Thursdays. And our F4 league is starting up. The F4 series is going to be on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. Thank you, everybody, for joining me in the chat, and have a good week.